we're gonna try the chicken. Alrighty, so by the title you see what we're going to be making today, so welcome back and let's get to it. First thing we're going to do is wash our chicken and season it. So my chicken is already washed, so I'm going to go ahead and season it with a bit of kosher salt. Like 2 tablespoons, no, sorry. Like 2 teaspoons of kosher salt. I'm using a whole chicken cut up without the breast. And we're gonna go ahead and do about 2 teaspoons of black pepper as well. We're also gonna use some chili powder. That's about 1 teaspoon and a half. 1.5 teaspoons of chili powder, some oregano, one teaspoon of oregano, crushed red pepper, 1 teaspoon of that. Ground allspice, so like a dusting of this. I just like to put a dusting of ground allspice on everything that I cook. Not even a teaspoon. Paprika. We're gonna go 2 teaspoons of paprika. Garlic powder, about 1 teaspoon of this. It's a gentle sprinkling. As well as 1 teaspoon of onion powder as well. And finally, this is optional, I'm going to do a little sprinkling of all-purpose seasoning. Not even a teaspoon of that either. I'm gonna go ahead and mix that on my chicken. And my chicken has the skin on. Next, I'm just gonna put a little thyme in there. Some green seasoning, which is a mixture of green pepper, red pepper, spicy pepper, habanero, thyme, rosemary, and a few other things. And then I'm gonna mix that in as well. Alright, so I put that chicken to the side. I would say if you can marinate it anywhere from 2 hours to overnight, that would be good. For me, I'm just gonna go ahead and cook it now. So I have some flour here that we're gonna use to coat the chicken with, and we're gonna go ahead and season that just about the same way. I'm gonna do a little chili powder, about half a teaspoon of chili powder, half a teaspoon of oregano, half a teaspoon of crushed red pepper, half a teaspoon of garlic powder. I'm gonna use a little bit of Lawry's, half a teaspoon of Lawry's, but you can use kosher salt instead or whatever salt. A sprinkling of allspice again, half a teaspoon of black pepper, half a teaspoon of paprika. And I'm just gonna add a little bit of basil leaves to that, half a teaspoon of basil leaves. You don't have to. And I'm going to mix that together. So now we have the chicken and the flour seasoned. Since I won't be marinating my chicken for any time, so that's a good way to make sure we have flavor on there. So you do as you please. You want to do half the seasonings on the chicken, half in the flour. That should be fine too. Okay, so now I'm going to flour my pieces of chicken. Just dip them in the flour and put them on my rack until I have them all floured nicely. Okay. Gently flouring every single piece now. Shake it off. I like that this is essentially an easy meal. I do something similar to this when I don't have eggs or milk to fry my chicken. I just put the flour directly on it and I fry it, but I've never made it a southern way or made it with gravy, so I'm excited. I'm following multiple recipes, a few recipes that I saw, but mainly smoking grill, I think it's called, recipe that I found on YouTube, mixed with my own little flair of how I like to cook. Alright, so I have enough oil to coat the bottom of my cast iron skillet, and I have it over medium-high heat, and I'm gonna see if it is hot enough. Yeah, I think it's hot enough. Go ahead and put my chicken in, skin side down, and I'm gonna cook it on each side for 4 to 5 minutes. And I'm gonna cook them covered. Okay, so I'm gonna go ahead and flip them now. After 4 minutes, after 5 minutes. We have a nice, beautiful golden color. So I'm gonna let those go for another 5 minutes, covered. Okay, so after those 5 minutes, I'm taking the chicken out and I'm adding in my onions. Alright, so after 3 minutes of the habanero and onion cooking down, I'm adding 2 teaspoons of garlic, minced garlic. 1 teaspoon of crushed red pepper, 2 tablespoons of butter. I'm going to use a whisk now. Got my butter breaking down. I'm going to add flour in. Let's go 1.5 tablespoons. So I want to cook down the flour just a bit. When your flour is cooked down, you're going to add 2 cups of chicken broth. I don't have chicken broth, so what I'm going to do is use what I seasoned my chicken in, mix with some water, and add that to the mixture. Stir that. So instead of just putting water, it's at least water with some flavor. 1/2 cup of half and half. And I'm still mixing as I pour. And I'm also going to be adding some cream of chicken condensed soup. About half the can of it is all I'm going to add for the amount of chicken that I have. And I'm going to break that down in here as well, just to add a bit more flavor. Okay, now I'm going to add back my chicken. And going to cover my chicken with the sauce. Okay, so now that I have my chicken covered, I'm gonna go ahead and cover the pan and put it in the oven for 1 hour at 425. My oven is already preheated. All right, so this is the chicken after 1 hour in the oven. Let's taste it. All right, here is my final product. I didn't put too much of the gravy on yet. I want to try it first and then add more as I go. I made like a vegetable version of it on the side here. And yeah, let's go ahead and try it. I'm gonna try the rice and the vegetable first just cause. Okay. The rice and the sauce. Now, I love the hints of spice at the end. Now, we're gonna try the chicken. It's nice and cooked. The vegetables is really good too. This is really good. I'm gonna add more gravy and I hope you guys try it too and enjoy. Deuces.